Hey, happy Friday, everyone. It's Meredith. I'm here with our message for the 17th of June, 2022. We are using the Wandering Star Tarot. It was quite the shuffle. It's clear tarot has a tale to tell today as we tune into the energy atmosphere. You know that the sun is in Gemini, the moon is in Aquarius, it's waning. Yeah, and we're celebrating. Let's see what our first three cards have to say to us. All right, now there's a start. Eight of Swords. Mental traps, vulture thoughts, a squawking ego, and patterned ways of thinking. So we talk about this a lot here on the channel, challenging what we think, what we feel, why we think it, why we feel it, and considering new ways of considering. So one of the best questions to ask oneself is, what have I not considered? It's such a great question because the universe steps right in and starts showing us what we haven't considered. And we get a new perspective. We get some fresh contrast, which is pretty exciting. Now, Eight of Swords is movement. All eights in tarot indicate movement and momentum. So we are moving through a potential mental trap, and I feel like we're dislodging the familiar, making it unfamiliar. One of the things we might want to consider doing is just asking ourselves just to be really present in our soulful awareness and our waking consciousness, and ask the universe, how can we look at this, whatever this is, whatever our perspective is, whatever's in front of us right now, how can we look at this differently? What is another way to perceive what we are being shown or offered, and what fresh ideas are inspired because of considering something slightly different? So challenge yourself with that today, through the weekend, ongoing. Notice that what we consider personality is a familiar and accepted way of being, and how that is reflected back to us from our peers, from our environment. So Eight of Swords, turn things, use the momentum of this eight in the way that we speak, the words that we choose. Use this momentum to speak differently, find new words. Go to the dictionary if you have to, open it up. Who does that anymore, by the way? I do. I have a nice big fat dictionary. And pick out a new word. Just randomly turn to a page and pick out a new word and get familiar with the meaning and incorporate it into your language, and consider how you can express yourself with this new word. It may seem a little bit silly, though it's quite a challenge. Our patterned way of being, what is familiar to us? Let's turn it upside down just a little bit with our Eight of Swords. Our next card is, how neat is that? Two of Wands, a gateway, a threshold, a doorway of opportunity, stepping through, stepping up to a whole new world of experience. So there's so much out there for us to know, to learn, to engage with. Why not? The Two of Wands is actually a perfect complement to the challenge that I feel this Eight of Swords is issuing us today. And then we have, look at this, the Fool. Step through the gateway of the Two of Wands with a leap of faith. That's really the spirit of the Fool anyways, taking a leap of faith. One of the tarot decks I have, we've seen it occasionally here on the channel, it's the After Tarot, and that deck is all about what happens moments later in tarot. And you know, the Fool moves along his or her journey without fear of consequence. Some would say that there's no fear of consequence because there is no experience in the Fool, though I challenge that as well, because how many times has the Fool made the trip through the major arcana and reset. There's a whole lot of knowledge there with the Fool, and the Fool's willingness to take the leap of faith in light of knowledge and experience, right? That's great. So see what kind of leap of faith you can take through the gateway offered on the Two of Wands by simply considering your situation, circumstances, and experiences from a different perspective. Start using new words. And really consider how you speak over your life. How much of that is patterned, right? How much of that is program? I love the idea of challenging these things. So catch the wave with it. Next we have, look at this, the Four of Wands. Gorgeous energy, super stable. Our lovely Four, happiest card in the minor arcana, love, bliss, joy, happiness on our foundation. And that's part of what gives us the inspiration and a sense of freedom to take a leap of faith. Like, why not? Next. Strength. These are amazing cards for us today, really. At the heart of this card is our wild, untamed nature. And how often do we allow this aspect of our personality, what's comfortable, what's familiar, what's known to those around us? How often do we step outside of that perception of boundary, perception even of limitation? One of my friends said to me the other day, she said, "You realize you are not normal." And I really didn't even know how to respond to that. I laughed because I thought it was funny. And I told her that I thought I was just a normal, kind of average person. And she said, "There's no way we would be friends if you were." So I don't know what it is to be other than normal. This is just me being me, right? And yet I can see it a little bit here as I look at these cards. Embrace the spirit of the Fool. Do something uncommon. Do something unexpected. Live your wild, untamed self off the Strength card. Be bold, be brave, be strong enough to do that, and be bold, brave, and strong enough to challenge whatever your Eight of Swords is. I tend to be a contemplator. When something engages me, I will turn whatever that engagement is over and over and over. Sometimes I find that a little bit exhausting. So for a long time, seeing the Let Go card, I was thinking to myself, how does anybody ever let go? My sense of curiosity is such that I want to explore all angles here. And even that can be a patterned way of being and can interrupt the flow of allowing. So consider interrupting your flow of comfortable allowing. And be like the Fool and take a leap of faith. Okay, next. We have the Knight of Pentacles, our turtle, our slowest moving knight. I love this though because, he's a contemplator as well. So he can serve us, of course. And actually, in consideration of this card, with the Eight of Swords there at the beginning, and the Fool, 2 cards past that, I'm feeling like the presence of the Knight of Pentacles is encouraging us to take the leap like the Strength card. Move forward in your wild, untamed self. Take any kind of step today. Instead of being at a standstill, instead of perhaps tying ourselves up in knots, Eight of Swords, with contemplation and consideration and being engaged over this or that, and even our own sense of natural curiosity having us hit the pause button, take a step today. Just one small step. Coming with our Knight of Pentacles, we now have, the High Priestess. She's been present quite a bit. So is the Queen of Cups. And we have been encouraged day after day after day to follow our intuitive guidance, that inner voice, that empathic barometer that lives within us. And again, I feel take an action on your intuition, take an action from your untamed wild heart in the direction of your passion, whatever that may be. I've got some creative projects just waiting for my hands, and I've kind of been delaying. So I'm challenging myself today to follow through with that. What is it for you? Next 3 cards, 2 cards. 3 cards, 2 cards. Oh, here we go again. That amazing 3 of Swords. I will admit that this card is a cringer for me. And we've all got a card that really has us wincing. This one happens to be one of mine. 3 of Swords, pain, loss, and sorrow of the past. And I feel like the pain, loss, and sorrow of the present would be to not take a step in our bold, strong, courageous, vulnerable, tender even hearts. Let's go for it. Let's turn down the volume on whatever 3 of Swords we've had in our life, whether it's come out of a prior relationship, whether it's, something that we have consistently suffered with in the form of vulture thoughts. And let's move just one step beyond that. Heck, take 10 steps. Be like the Fool and just walk right off that edge there. What's at the edge that's keeping you on the edge? We talked a while ago about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable out on the edge of our comfort zone. So what is preventing you from taking this step? Consider it. And put this 3 of Swords in your rearview mirror. Allow it to bless you with the experience you've received from it. Though, reconsider how it is directing the course of your life right now. And then we have, oh, look at that, the Emperor. Perfect, because there's Aries fire right there. He's all Aries. And the Emperor takes action. The Emperor is absolutely a doer. Definitely a contemplator, though he's never exactly at a standstill. He may look all regal and relaxed there on his throne. Make no mistake, though, the Emperor will get up and go and do and be like the Fool, like the Strength card. 8 of Swords, no problem. He will take self-responsibility. He will own whatever his swords are. 3 of Swords, same thing. He will allow himself to live comfortably in his own discomfort and still keep going. Excellent. So let's take a little cue from the Emperor and step up in our Aries fire and our Leo fire Strength card and celebrate what it is to thoroughly enjoy our 4 of Wands. Okay, bottom of the deck, what's there for us? 6 of Pentacles. Harmony, balance. We're going to surprise ourselves in the way that we decide to challenge ourselves. And this is divine reciprocity here. This is a conversation between ourselves and the universe. And as soon as we take a step, a move, we're going to be met there by the universe. And then we're going to have more experience. We're going to receive divinely. Next card. Yeah, there it is. Divine delivery system on the Wheel of Fortune. Step forward, the universe will meet you there. Surprise and delight await those who are bold enough, brave enough, strong enough to challenge their own status quo. Next. King of Swords. I like that. He's a super stable king. He and the Queen, both in this suit, are brilliant strategists. And the feeling here is by stepping outside the comfort zone just a little bit, we will garner some new experience that becomes a launch pad for us. We'll be so glad we did. Yeah, that feels good and right for the bottom of the deck. What do we have next? Angel answers. Let's go there. Confirmation, answers to questions, whispers from our angels. Put it to the deck. Ooh. This is really funny. So look for a sign. High Priestess, pay attention to your intuition. And right underneath it, can't ignore it because we already spoke on it, is the Let Go card. Let go of what you think you know and challenge yourself. Okay. Oh, cool. Now we have the Romance card. You are the greatest romance of your life. How are you romancing yourself right now? Certainly you're not romancing yourself over here in the Eight of Swords. So whatever's going on with a persistent thought, a persistent consideration, ask yourself, how can I set myself free of this? What leap of faith can I take here? And how can I romance myself through my Eight of Swords and take a step boldly, bravely, courageously today? Next. Okay, this is a card that I react to. Compromise. Oh, what are we compromising here? Oh, what a great question. What are we compromising by staying in the comfort of what we know on the Eight of Swords, as opposed to moving into something that's a little unfamiliar and a little uncomfortable? What's the compromise there? I say look to the Wheel of Fortune, look to the High Priestess, because only you will know what you are compromising. And that may be the fulfillment of a dream, and then the question there is it worth it? Okay, our Soulful Presence from the Angels and Ancestors deck. The message there is the Moon. Hey! Take note of intuitive messages. It had to show up again, didn't it? We've been peppered with that message quite a bit lately. Also, we've just had full moon, supermoon in Sagittarius on Tuesday, I think it was. So we are still feeling the effects of the moon. We may be feeling a little bit like lunatics, right? Lunatics. So that supermoon energy is probably still ripple effect flowing through our beingness. Let's honor it. Let's use it. Let's invest it. And then we had 3 cards come out of the Mermaid deck for final thoughts on the reading. And the first is acceptance. And the first thing I feel, sense, and perceive when I look at that card is accept that your wild and free spirit would like expression. However you do that, whether it's through your creativity, whether it is through conversation and boldly sharing some thought or feeling you've kept to yourself for goodness knows how long, that it's created a 3 of Swords discomfort and put you in an 8 of Swords environment. Do that. Speak it. Yesterday's message was speak your love language. What's in your love language that you have yet to say out loud? And consider that when you do, how valuable that expression is and what the universe will bring you because of it, because you were brave and bold enough to speak your love language. Next card, light. Accept the light. Accept your own light. And then contentment. Ooh, beautiful. Really beautiful right there. Be content in accepting the love, the light that you are, in the expression of your love and light in the world. That may be your leap of faith right there. Instead of keeping it close to the chest, instead of shrinking, instead of hiding the truth of who you are, just live it out loud. Call your best friend that you laugh with the most and get crazy silly. And from there, allow that energy to be a launch pad out on the very edge of your comfort zone and get uncomfortable there. Take the leap of faith. Peace, love, happiness. Happy Friday. Namaste. Let me know how you do. Leave some comments.